in a grand palace filled with gold and riches. There lived a prince who cared only about himself. He ignored the poor, mocked the weak, and refused to listen to anyone. But one tiny bird would soon change his heart forever. Long ago, in a beautiful kingdom surrounded by mountains and rivers, Prince Adrian lived. Adrian had everything: soft silk clothes, delicious feasts, and servants who obeyed every command. But despite having so much, the prince was stubborn and unkind. If people are poor, he would say, that is their own problem. The king and queen worried deeply. A ruler must care for others, the queen often told him. But Adrian never listened. One morning, while walking through the royal garden, the prince heard a tiny chirping sound. He looked down and saw a small injured bird beneath a tree. Its wing was hurt. The little bird trembled weakly. A gardener nearby spoke gently. "Poor thing, it needs help." But Prince Adrian shrugged. "It's only a bird," he said coldly. The gardener frowned. "Even small creatures deserve kindness, Your Highness." Adrian rolled his eyes and walked away. But later that night, a terrible storm struck the kingdom. Thunder crashed. Rain poured heavily, and strong winds shook the palace windows. The next morning, Adrian rode into the village. He wanted to see if the storm had damaged the royal roads. But along the way, his horse stumbled near a muddy riverbank. Crash! The prince fell into the rushing water. Adrian struggled desperately. The river current was strong. "Help!" he shouted. But no one could hear him. Just then, a familiar chirping sound echoed above. It was the little bird. Despite its injured wing, the bird flew from tree to tree, chirping loudly for help. Villagers nearby heard the cries. They rushed toward the river with ropes and branches. Together, they pulled the prince to safety. Adrian coughed and trembled beside the river. He stared at the tiny bird in shock. "The bird saved me," he whispered. The gardener stepped forward. "Yes," he said softly. "The creature you ignored risked its life to help you." The prince looked at the tiny bird carefully. Its wing was still weak. Yet it had chosen kindness anyway. For the first time, Adrian felt ashamed. "I had everything," he said quietly. "And still, I cared only for myself." The little bird chirped softly beside him. Adrian smiled gently. "Thank you, little friend." From that day on, Prince Adrian changed. He helped the poor. He listened to the villagers. And he treated both people and animals with kindness. He even built small bird shelters throughout the kingdom. The king and queen were overjoyed. And every morning, the tiny bird would perch outside the prince's window and sing. A reminder that kindness can come from the smallest hearts. And so, the kingdom learned. Kindness should be given to everyone, big or small, rich or poor. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change the biggest heart of all. If this story found its way to your heart, subscribe or follow the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Every story begins here, and every time you share it, it reaches a little further.